getting drunk.
That's annoying.
Say something.
Say something.
I'm giving up on you. Hi, Roz.
Hi, Jackson.
Welcome back.
To another episode of
We forgive you.
a podcast all about self-care through celebrity. I'm talking so close to your face.
I
it's
know.
making me
I feel like we're about to
self-conscious.
kiss.
I'm nervous.
How is your week?
It's good. I couldn't tell you a thing that I did, but it was great. Oh, Courtney and I are into Kayla now.
Oh, yeah. Roz is doing bikini body guides.
Yep, where the target audience is 16 to 25-year-olds, so I am quite mature of that.
I fall right in the middle of that demographic.
But
That's exciting.
Yeah. As I'm eating a Pillsbury Grand Biscuit, I'm like, bikini body, here I come in the middle of July. Like, my body's going to be hot and tight in October, November.
Perfect timing.
That's resort season.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
like
not.
when you're
But
rich enough to go somewhere.
yeah.
How are you?
I am good. I went to the beach yesterday and I got really sunburned.
Oh,
So that's how I'm taking care of myself.
you look nice, though.
My back is really red and sweaty.
Isn't that where Courtney applied sunscreen?
Yes, it is. And that's really it. Not a big week for me, but we have some excitement today.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if anyone maybe could recognize the vocal stylings in our opening number, but we've got none other than Pate Baby.
Hi.
So Payton is here to talk about his.
Favorite diva? Like, what would you like? How would you describe her? What she is to you? Like, she's your favorite pop star?
I guess so. Like, I mean, things have changed, but she was like my number one like person almost for a long time. Like, just beyond being like pop star. I know.
Do we want to introduce who it is first and talk about your fandom, or should we get
Yeah.
into the game?
So the game is all about Peyton's number one, but is also another edition of Give Her a Chance, so that you can get to know Peyton's sensibilities a little bit before we dig into this lady.
Wait, did we say who it is yet?
No,
So
no.
Peyton,
So this will become apparent, and obviously
Got it,
it
got it,
is,
got
and
it.
then we'll talk about
so Peyton, your objective here is to take one of these number one songs
Okay.
and reassign them to either Charlie Puth, Rita Ora, or Meghan Trainor
God.
to give them a chance to get a number one for
Okay.
themselves.
This is a good game.
Yeah, it's like about sisterhood.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
I Kissed a Girl.
Oh my God. I guess I would give it to Meghan Trainor.
Oh, interesting. I would have thought just Rita Ora so she could have avoided girls.
I just like hate Rita Ora, so I probably won't give her any of them.
All right, California Girls.
Actually, maybe I'll give that to Rita Ora. I'm not sure why. I think because it doesn't make any sense, and like, it still makes her seem like an idiot. That's so mean. I really don't like her.
Teenage Dream.
I guess Charlie Puth.
Oh, I actually think that's a cute one.
I do like.
I think it'd be kind of like cute to hear a boy sing that. Maybe, I don't know.
I guess it's like the Glee version.
Yeah, totally.
This does kind of
It's like
seem
when Darren Criss did
yeah, you're
it.
giving like the Glee Club something
Yeah.
because these all seem like ragtag bunch.
It feels very much like a Glee club for like a school that didn't win
Yeah.
regionals.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry guys, it looks like France won the World Cup.
Boring.
More importantly, Firework.
Oh. Honestly, like, I would kind of be down to hear Meghan Trainor sing Firework because Meghan Trainor has kind of a good voice. Doesn't she have, like, a little bit of a
I
good
think
voice?
she does.
Like,
I'll admit it, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, like, I'm not, like, a fan, but like Rita Ora can't sing, and like I don't Charlie Puth, whatever.
Does he have range?
I think so. He has range. He has no like depth.
Yeah,
of
I'm not
personality to
I'm
like
not
back up
incredibly
his
familiar
songs.
with him.
All right. E.T.
Charlie.
Wow. I look also. What does Charlie Puth sing?
I don't really know.
Like Attention. That See You
this
Again
one?
song.
No, that's Shawn Mendes, isn't it?
Oh, that's Nothing Holding Me Back. I just kept it like, got my attention.
You just want attention. You don't want my heart. That song.
Oh, that's sexy. That one's sexy.
I feel like
think.
he would be good at E.T.
You're so yeah.
Well, I mean, I would listen to that.
I would too.
Last Friday Night. TGIF.
I'm gonna give that to Megan too.
Okay.
That would. I think
She could
would
make
be fun
that
with
funky.
That. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Part of Me.
Oh my god. I
A
really
divorce
like that song.
anthem.
Layer by layer.
Like, do I have to give Rita Ora any? I really don't want to.
You don't have to.
I think Part of Me could also be good for Charlie.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what he sounds like. So I'm like,
Roar.
I'm like getting goosebumps, like being reminded of all these songs. Oh, God, it's like I don't want anyone to sing it except for Katie. I kind of want, if anyone, Charlie.
wow. So it seems like
Charlie's getting a lot of...
I just feel
Are
like
you a
it's
fan of Charlie?
no.
Oh,
I just
okay.
feel like it would be easier for me to like see
a male singing it.
a guy singing her songs because it like is so different
Oh,
that
right.
it wouldn't be as like triggering or something. I don't know.
And then the last number one, Dark Horse.
Oh my god. I'll give that to Rita because I don't really like that song.
Oh, I love Dark Horse. So if you guys can't tell, we're here to talk about Katy Perry today.
Yeah. If you didn't know that, maybe you should find another podcast.
Because you don't know any of her
That'd be
discography.
really crazy.
So Payton, tell us a little bit about like your general stance on Katy Perry. Like, have you been a long time fan?
Like your
Yeah.
origin story with her.
Yeah.
So my origin story is I was raised a little baby Christian, and my sister got her first album as Katie Hudson like from the Christian bookstore when we were like very young, and we like listened to it, and it was like I remember being like, she's cool. Like,
What did the cover look like?
she has like blonde, like, oh my god, it's like very like that Britney Spears bob kind of like messy like moment from like early 2000s. It's like very blonde. She might be holding a guitar, but it's like she's shot outside and it's very like glossed over, and like, you know, she has like it just looks like kind of like,
It almost sounds like an Ashley Simpson cover.
yeah, it's a little bit Ashley Simpson, but like with a more of a Christian vibe, if that makes sense. But yeah, we had that album, and then I Kissed a Girl came out. Oh, maybe I'm like kind of wrong.
No, I think
Oh
you're...
yeah, it's like
This one? This one?
that one. That's what I remember. I guess maybe that's the
Oh, it's the back of it. Oh my god, she's like wearing a little beret. Like a little
I don't.
Kangol.
Is her nose pierced?
No.
No. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. And then I remember I Kissed a Girl came out, and I like heard it on the radio in the car, and I was like, this is a cool song. And then like fast forward like 6 months, and maybe like she's had another single come out,
Yeah.
and I was like getting really into her because like she was still so new, and she was like performing at like small like festivals and wearing like
She was like on Warped Tour, wasn't
weird, yeah, on like Warped Tour, and she would wear like sequin like Las Vegas showgirl shit, and I was like, who is this? And like everyone else is just like so normal, and she's like so decked out. And then I think in an interview she was like talking about her past, and I was like, this sounds so familiar. And then we realized we had listened to her Christian album.
she? That's actually
Like,
that would like solidify my fandom.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
then
mean?
I was like, this is like full circle journey for me. Also, like, I feel like, well, I also have like the connection to her of like being raised really Christian, and
Yeah.
then like getting older and being like, wait a second, Christians are scary. And then, yeah. So then, like, from then on out, I was like super fan, like loved her so much, and like, obviously, like I mean, I guess back then, like with like Kissed a Girl and stuff, like I didn't think it was bad.
Right.
We were all just like, this is fun. Like none of us were like, this is maybe a little bit like weird because it's like from the male gaze, blah blah blah. But I don't know. And then I was super fan. Sorry, this is like taking forever.
No, this is interesting.
Like, like so in love with her, and then now things have changed because just the whole Witness era has really like thrown me for a loop, and I saw her show and it was not very good, and I think that album's really bad, and I also just think she's like her whole new like wokeness, faux wokeness thing is like really problematic, and like her like being like campaigning for Hillary Clinton and stuff, meanwhile like not really knowing what she was doing, or like it just felt like she was doing it so people would buy her album. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it seemed very on trend.
Yeah. So my relationship with her is a bit strained. I also really don't like her hair right now, so that is another factor.
Does she have like the Scarlett Johansson 40-year-old mom cut?
Yeah. Still.
Bleach blonde.
And sometimes she'll wear like a wig and I'm like, it's like a taste of the old Katie, and I like almost cry. And I know that's fucked up. I shouldn't like reduce her to her hair, but like it just is another thing, like cherry on top. Anyways, that's like in a nutshell.
That's really sweet.
Wait, how many times have you seen her live?
Only once.
Oh, just Witness.
Yeah, which is so upsetting because like I probably would have like had a seizure if I'd seen her other tours, and then this one was just like pretty sad.
But we were in the pit.
That's true. Really we were in the pit, and it was fun, and we got really drunk. Yeah. But
like, imagine if it was another album.
Like the California Dreams.
Oh my god, yeah. It's one of those things where like I remember having the opportunity, and I just like didn't do it, and then it passed, and I was like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" But you've seen Lady Gaga
a few times, right?
I've seen her twice.
Oh.
I saw Lady Gaga when I was 18, before I like kind of knew like a lot about her.
That's cool.
And then I saw her again like on the Monster Ball tour when I was like obsessed. And that was like also that like really set the bar for like all of my like
pop stars
experiences at like going to concerts, because it was so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, because I saw Justin Bieber too, and like that was really good, but nothing has come close to like the Monster Ball tour.
It was amazing.
It was like psycho.
I've never seen her live.
I saw that,
So
and I also
good.
saw the Art Pop Rave or whatever.
Oh, really?
That's
Was
what
that
it's
fun?
called. It was, yeah, it was still
I would
really
be
fun,
into
even though
that.
like
You didn't like this album, wasn't?
the album like wasn't the Fame Monster, but
Yeah.
except like I've recently learned that Venus might be my favorite Lady Gaga song, just from my physical
Oh.
reaction
That's
to
like,
hearing it in the
yeah,
club.
like Art Pop is, at first I was like whatever, and then like it's been like years since that came out,
Yeah,
but
I think it gets
every
better,
year
ages
I'm like,
well.
wait a second, I actually like most of this album kind of a lot.
I mean, I always think of like GUI. I wanna be.
And like Sex Dreams, and there's like some
There
good
is.
songs. It's just like
It came
I
out
don't
in
think they
Long-
marketed it well or something. Or
I mean,
like,
they just that Jeff Koons sculpture was off-putting.
I think there was too much distraction. Like she should have just let the album be the album, and instead she like was like, I'm an artist.
Well, I think they did it poorly.
But we're here to talk about Katy Perry,
Yeah, sorry,
So
Lady Gaga
anyway-
tangent.
who has been a chart rival. I mean, so Katy released Prism at like the same time
As Art Pop?
as Art Pop because Roar and Applause were competing
Oh
singles.
yeah.
Right. And I remember initially liking Roar more than Applause.
Yeah,
and
same
then
here.
after a second listen, I was like, wait, I like Applause more than Roar. That's such a boring anecdote, but here we are.
And then Roar hit #1 and Applause hit #9.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
and
that
Art
doesn't
Pop was a
surprise me.
flop.
That's not a very good song. Applause. I mean, it's fun, but it's like,
It's fun to work out to.
yeah.
Like,
So let's dig in a little bit on sort of what's like led you to having issues with Katy over time.
Okay.
Or like the things that you've like ignored until now.
like
I
now
guess.
everything's kind of like this didactic me, like, oh shit.
Like you saying like I kissed a girl, like
Yeah.
looking back on it, obviously it's like it seems like a girl kissing another girl at a party for like a boy's attention.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking about this morning. Like at the time, that song, I mean, it was like such a fun song. Like, and I feel like for me, I'm like the type of person who hears the song before they hear the lyrics. And I'm like, this is fun. And then like the next time I listen to it, I'm like, wait, maybe this is like not right. But anyways, so like first and foremost, it was like so fun. And then I feel like at the time that song was like pretty revolutionary because like, I mean, even though she's not like a queer person, like it was this like #1 single about like a same sex like experience, and like obviously it's problematic because she's like a straight woman, but it just was like kind of like, oh my god, she's like so cool, she's like singing about this, she doesn't give a fuck, like, and like she made it with this song. And not that like, I mean, maybe people have done that before, but it didn't seem like it, like there was that like overt.
Us, it didn't seem that way, but I feel like other pop stars have like alluded to it, maybe not in their lyrics directly, but like the same sex angle's been played.
I feel like Katy's the first person who like it's like fully succeed with it.
Yeah.
And what I was a fan at this time, and I remember my lesbian cousin also had "I Kissed a Girl" as her like cell phone ringtone, which I thought was like very subversive in Georgetown, Virginia, because I was like, my mom's gonna hear somebody call you, and she's gonna hear "I Kissed a Girl," and then we're gonna have to all talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, bold.
But then at the same time, like when Katy had that and like "Hot and Cold" come out, then I also like listened to her song "You're So Gay."
Yeah.
Which I remember like thinking was kind of funny at the time, but now I don't get it at all.
It's so weird, like I've been trying to remember how I was experiencing those songs at the time, because I never liked the song "You're So Gay" because like I think like I deep down like recognize that it was just weird, and also like doesn't really make sense.
Right. You're so gay and you don't even like boys.
It's like she's just using the word gay to mean like you suck.
It's a mixture of like you suck or like you're like emo or sad or like kind of feminine.
Yeah, I think because like that seems, I feel like there's a video, I think, and it's kind of emo.
Oh, is there?
Or at least the album art for the single.
Well, there's like, you should hang yourself by your H&M scarf.
Yeah.
It was jacking off listening to Mozart. It's a very weird song.
Dark.
Yeah, that's where it's weird, because it's like it is about kind of like the like metrosexuality, like quote unquote, of this person, or like the femininity, not really about like
how that's like killing their relationship, and this
guy
guy should just go like kill
it's like
himself.
he's too into like feminine thing. I don't know, but like at the time I just kind of like pushed that one under the rug at the time, because I really liked that album, and like that album honestly like is really good if you like ignore that song. Also like that I was like in the closet at that time, so I'm sure it was like probably like especially triggering to hear that song and be like, what is this?
Yeah. Also, she's a songwriter, which was like the fun of playing Give Her a Chance of Katy giving her songs to someone else. Does anyone know if she actually wrote that song?
I'm pretty sure the first album was like mostly her.
Is like His Dick Girl Dr. Luke or Max Martin?
I am not sure.
A lyricist, yeah, Katy Perry for You're So Gay. And then what song did you want? California Girls?
No, I Kissed a Girl.
Katy Perry, I Kissed a Girl meaning. Where is the damn wiki page?
The first album was with Dr. Luke too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dr. Luke.
Yeah, Dr. Luke wrote it with Max Martin. Huh.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like levels of like complicated shit.
Yeah, so I guess one thing like of going to this You're So Gay, one of my criticisms of Katy has always been, because I had the song on my little like iPad, like my little Nano, and I used to get a kick out of it, but I don't know why, and I'm like, but I have a problem with like Taylor Swift saying like, and I'll tell my friends you're gay, but like in this song I was like,
because it feels like
wait, what about Taylor Swift?
in Just Another Picture to Burn, she had a lyric originally that
Oh,
said, like,
yeah.
I'll tell my friends you're gay.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's just so weird, like hard to like come to terms with these types of things because like at the time, I mean, maybe at the time there was like some backlash to that and I just wasn't aware of it, but like we were just like, haha, like times have changed, obviously.
I remember Madonna like talking about the song "You're So Gay" and being like, "This is so fun or funny."
Oh, really?
Like, promoting it, yeah. So,
like, how have you thought about it now? Like, is it?
I think then for me, something that was like kind of exciting about the song was just like hearing the word "gay," which
Yeah,
sounds so
totally.
dumb, but and like I think I like listened to it with my cousin, and there was like something about like my cousin Madison, and there's something about like listening to it when I was like sort of out at the time, and just like I don't know, like hearing the word when you're like just coming out like repeatedly, and like not like it's because it's not like fully a slur in the song. I don't know exactly, but it was just like even like gay content of any kind of felt revelatory.
That's kind of how like I felt about I Kissed a Girl.
Right.
Like, also, the tone of these songs, like, none of them felt super serious to me. Like, I was like, oh, this is a fun album. It's like all these songs are fun. Like, they're not coming from like that deep of a place, which I think also for me like made it easier to just like digest them and like deal with them, which is like obviously not necessarily a good thing like in the long run, but like they almost seem kind of like they're like joke songs. They're like parody songs. Like not really,
Right.
but like it's not like this like deep like. I mean, it's like a pop song, like a
Right.
dumbass pop song
But
that
and
happens to
I
be
feel like
about
that's like with the Witness era for Katy, the big issue is that she suddenly wants to be like deeply serious, and she's always like kind of seemed like a parody writer.
that. Yeah.
And her look for so long was like based on like slightly tweaking like the pinup like presentation, and so it's like, oh, like I am a pinup girl, but my boobs also like are what like whipped cream cannons, so it's like some sort of like slight perversion on this
Yeah.
like very traditional male gazy like this is what sexy looks like thing. And so then like her like slow trend towards like I have opinions about the world and like my song has to mean something, and like her like purposeful pop concept, I think part of the reason why it's failing so horribly and like why it doesn't resonate is because like that's not her brand.
Yeah, well, it's like the two main things are it's like one, like Katy Perry is not that smart. Like that's mean, but it's like she doesn't have an education. Like not that you can't. There's different kinds of smart, but it's like she's just like she grew up like in the entertainment industry, like
In this, like, her parents were pastors.
Yeah,
So it's
and
not
then
like she had.
like her whole thing is that like she's like kind of a cartoon. Like everything about her is like
Right.
larger than life, like cartoony. Like her songs, the reason they've been successful is because they're just like fluffy, like fun pop songs that like can make you feel something. Like I definitely have felt a lot of things from Katy Perry songs,
Yeah.
but then I think she's just like has tried to tap into like this area that she doesn't really understand or know that much about, and that's why like it's not successful.
Well, do you think that the pop songs, like the way she should have gone about it, is kind of the same way we're thinking about like You're So Gay and I Kissed a Girl, where it's like, oh, she has to be joking, right? And so it's like almost she needed that like purposeful pop to be a little bit tongue in cheek. Like it needed to be like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
because
well,
that seems more on brand for her of being like, haha, this is, you think I'm doing this, but I'm actually doing this.
but that's the thing with the Witness, that album is like it's like not enough of one or the other. Like she has the song like Save as Draft, which is like, I mean all the songs are bad, but
Wait, there's a song called
Save as Draft, which is like about like I don't even really, I like can't listen to it, but it's like about like not like tweeting or whatever, or like sending the message like save it as a draft. And so but it's like this supposed to be this like serious fucking song, but then that's what it's called, and that's like literally the chorus, and it's like you can't have both of these things in this song. Like it needs to be like the serious song about like holding your tongue and like thinking before you spill whatever, but you can't, I don't know, like that type of like
Save as draft.
I do feel like if Katy is going to be political, the only way that it really works is like through sort of cartoonish satire.
That's what I'm,
And like the Witness era didn't do that properly. I feel like the Bon Appetit video is like the biggest attempt at some.
But what's that song about?
I mean, the song is like Truly No Meeting, but then it's like about like,
It's, like,
being
being
prepared for
eaten
like
out,
the
right?
male gaze in the video, because she's like being like
Eaten.
cooked and prepared and then like presented to like a group of men at the end, and then they chop her hair off. Right. I think. I mean,
But all the
honestly, the
lyrics
song
are,
is
like,
is
like,
about
"Come
getting
get
your
me."
like. It's about getting eaten out.
Yeah. That's what's so funny is she was like, my purposeful pop. And then she released Chained to the Rhythm, which I actually like. That's the song on the album that I probably like.
It's good.
I think it's good.
And then she comes out with Bon Appetit, and you're like, okay. Cool.
Right. It
Or
felt-
wait, did Swish? No, that was the third one. And then Swish Swish. So it's like, wait, what? It's like, what are you doing?
Well, and that was like her tour that we saw. It was like, how is this purposeful pop? Like you're like dressed up as basketball players. You're dressed up as this. You're just like.
Well, and then
has,
she
like, actual
also
meaning
never
behind it.
like, she was like, this is my new brand, Purposeful Pop. And then we saw her tour, and she sang all these songs, but she didn't ever really like get into like anything political or like, not that she needs
Or
to like
the meaning
mention
of the
Trump,
songs.
but like she just like didn't even go anywhere besides like running around the stage and like singing really bad songs. Well, I mean, and good songs because she sang like old ones, but
I feel like Swish Swish is a great place to sort of pivot,
Totally.
because this is her, her official jab at Taylor Swift in song, and so like she and Taylor obviously have the world's dumbest feud.
yeah.
It's truly maddening. I think like it's like between
Maybe the
Taylor.
Kanye feud.
Between Taylor and Kanye, and then Taylor and Katy, they're both like so painfully dumb, but at least like the Kanye one speaks to like larger issues, like you can extrapolate from it.
And better music came from it.
Whereas
Yeah.
the Katy Taylor feud is truly exhausting because it's about Katy like hiring away dancers from Taylor Swift's Red
I
Tour.
know like the deets.
Oh my God, what are the deeds?
I've like
High
done a
Gosseler.
lot of research into this because I was like, I need to be fully informed. I need to be team
People are gonna ask me
Katy,
questions about this.
but I need to like make sure I know why I'm fully team Katy. So it was during the Prism tour, or no, so Taylor Swift hired. So what? So her album would have been
it was Red.
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 Yeah.
So she like went on tour with Red, and she hired some dancers that like had
Katie's
previously,
dancers.
yeah, they were Katie's dancers, and I mean, this is all like, this is what I've read. Like, who knows if all of this is true? But I mean, seems true. I don't know.
Well, the dancers have spoken out.
Yeah.
So.
And so Taylor wanted to hire them, and then they went to Katy and were like, hey, we're going to do Taylor's tour. It was like, they're like loyal to Katy. And so they like basically were like, hey girl, like we're going to do this tour. Like, is this okay? And Katy was like, yeah, but like, I'm probably going to go on tour like in the next, 6 months when this tour will still be happening, just FYI. And like, basically probably was like, I would want you on my tour. And they were like, okay, cool. So they go on tour with Taylor, and then Katy like announces her tour, and then it was like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't even Katy who reached out. It was probably some like manager, you know what I mean? It was like, reached out to them and we're like, okay, Katy's going on tour. Like, do you guys want to be a part of it? And the dancers were like, yes. So they leave Taylor's tour to go on Katy's tour. And then Taylor like flips her shit. And it's just like, to me, like totally insane because she like pins it all on Katy. But it's like, they have like their own free will. Like the dancers can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? And like, I guess there's probably some pressure from like Katy's team, but
there's like something about loyalty and also just understanding like the dancers were like, well, this is what happens. Like they've danced on tour with Katy before. Never
well, it's
danced
like
with
the
Taylor.
business. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so
Like,
they're gonna go where it's like, oh, she brought us up. Of course, we're gonna be more loyal to her. And I just don't see why it's malicious. Like, the dancers who, like, their bread and butter is touring, and they love to dance, and a tour that you can actually dance more. They didn't, like, leave her mid-tour, did they?
I think
No, they did.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
That's why it was like
right.
a problem.
It like threw off her tour
That's
to like
kind of
lose multiple
surprising.
dancers.
But
I mean,
at
it's
the
like
same time,
bad practice on the part of these dancers to accept a job when you know they're going to be. Except that, like, what else are you going to be doing as a dancer if like your livelihood is made?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
being
But
on
don't
these
you have,
tours.
Like, understudies?
That's what I also. It's like on Taylor Swift's tour. It's not like what are the dancers doing? Like, are they really that?
It's usually just posing.
Yeah, it's
well,
like
that was like the 1989 tour was truly just walking a catwalk and then striking poses and walking back.
so.
So it's not hard to...
Really, like, my interpretation of the whole thing is like, I'm obviously Team Katy, but Taylor just like wanted this to be a beef. Like, she wanted the press. Like
Did
she
Taylor
wanted to write a song
start
about
it publicly? Because she spoke to Rolling Stone and said like this person, like basically stabbed me in the back.
Yeah, I can't remember like the exact like.
Because she was explaining the meaning of
details,
bad
but,
blood.
There's a quote from, like, Rolling Stone traces the feud. And so it says, from one of the dancer, okay, between 2013 and 2014, however, things soured. A trio. That's how many?
Only three.
Of dancers on Swift's Red World Tour had previously performed on Perry's California Dreams track. Oh my God, which would be so fun.
I know.
As later confirmed by dancer Lockhart Brownlee, that same threesome was then abruptly poached by Perry for her own prismatic tour in the midst of Swift's Red Trek. We weren't really dancing on Taylor's tour anyway, so I got a little bored. Brownlee told OK Magazine the experiences were totally different.
There you go.
And then in 2014,
Right, and then in 2014, Taylor is explaining Bad Blood and says, about a fellow female pop star, for years I was never sure if we were friends or not. She would come up to me at awards shows and say something and walk away, and I would think, are we friends, or did she just give me one of the harshest insults of my life?
Well, that's another thing with Katy Perry.
She basically
though.
tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. She tried to hire a bunch of people out from under me. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. So, yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where I think Taylor was like, she was like, I need this drama. Like, I need to write a song about this drama. Like, give it to me. You know what I mean? But to play, like, the devil's advocate and to go, like, sort of on Taylor's side, like, Katy has had problems with, like, the way she says things to people and, like, how she talks about people. Like, you know her whole thing with, like, Britney Spears? Like,
Yeah, I was going to
she
mention
said
this.
a lot.
Wait, what?
Of,
I
she
don't know
always
She
this.
makes a lot of like nasty comments about like I didn't have like when she cut her hair, she said something like not having it wasn't like a mental breakdown, and she didn't like shave her head off.
Yeah, she always like backhand like slaps Britney's like mental health issues in like a jokey way that like isn't funny.
Okay.
Not funny, and
now
also like
this.
especially during the like Witness era, she was still doing this. It's
Yeah,
like, I'm here for
yeah.
purposeful pop, and then she's like, and Britney Spears has mental health issues,
And
Isn't
it's
that
just really
hilarious?
weird. It's like, first of all, that shit's like was so long ago. If you're still making a joke about it, you need to like get new material. But also, you're like, yeah, like you're like, I'm a woman, I'm a feminist, purposeful pop. I love Hillary Clinton. Like, and now let me like shit on Britney's mental health struggle.
like
Yeah,
that.
she's done
So-
it a lot.
In that and like that respect, like maybe Taylor and her did have some weird interactions,
Which I could believe, like, if
but
you
I
saying
don't think that justifies this whole psycho fucking feud.
Or, like, adding fuel to the fire to... You didn't have to say it's about a fellow pop star. Just being, Bad Blood. Oh, it's about a friendship gone sour. Not being, like, someone... Like, making it so cryptic and then being upset when people bring this up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, like... I have this sometimes image of Taylor Swift that she has, like, such a blissed out life that she truly makes mountains out of molehills. Like,
yeah.
because she is the center of her universe, which makes sense when you have that much money, you employ so many people... that this feels like everything is a slight to her, which is why she has her squad.
Well, right, and also like to that point, like when you're a star on either of like these women's levels, you're like an entire industry unto yourself. So like any sort of slight is honestly like sort of an attack on your business also
Yeah.
in a weird way. And like you're saying, it's like your own, it's like you're like protecting like your own little kingdom. It's not just like,
Yeah.
I'm not just Taylor Swift. I'm like everyone that I employ as
Right.
being Taylor
But
Swift.
3 dancers.
I mean, and that's like, also Katy multiple times like tried to like end this feud, and Taylor was like not having it, and it's just like that to me is a sign of a true psychopath.
Well, and recently with the Reputation tour, I mean, I no longer follow Taylor on Instagram, but Jake sent me the link of like Taylor opening the package of like the olive, and then wasn't Katy kind
Katy's
of pissed
literally
off about
sent
it?
her an olive branch,
Yeah, and
like a
it's
literal olive branch.
A little olive branch, and I think wasn't there like drama too? Because she was like, "Why did you post it online?"
I don't know.
Was that not- or
I
is
don't
that
think
maybe just
so.
me?
I think that was just you.
I think that was.
I think these girls both intended for that to be on Instagram.
Yeah, I think like there was probably a note that said, "Taylor, please post this,"
But
because I think Katy Perry like retweeted, or Taylor posted it, and like Katy like retweeted or commented or something.
so bringing it back to Katy, like, what about Katy's song "Swish Swish" and how this like affects like this purposeful pop and like how we think about her and her relationship to Taylor Swift?
I mean, for me, Swish Swish was just like such a failure
Yeah.
of content. Like, if you were truly like, I'm winning this, like, feud, the lyrical content is just like embarrassingly bad.
Didn't
I-
Taylor do something on the release of "Swish Swish"?
Yeah, oh no, on the release of the Witness album, she put all of her music back on
Oh my
Spotify.
God, yeah, such a bitch.
Which honestly is horrible, but is
It could have
such a
been a
good
coincidence.
So
move.
funny.
Could have been a
It's
coincidence.
like no, there's no way in the world that was a coincidence, and it's such a good troll that like I
Yeah.
can't
It
be
was like-
mad about it at all.
The trolliest troll.
The best thing about "Swish Swish" was when Maxine Waters like used "Swish Swish" on Twitter. Like, I forget what it was, but she was just like "Swish Swish."
I do think the beat of Swish Swish is really fun.
Yeah, Swish Swish like is lyrically pretty terrible. I like the word swish swish. That's fun, but
Swish Swish Swish.
yeah. Also, like, literally the music video, and I hope no one has seen it because it's the worst thing in the world. But that's another problem in the recent or in the current Katy Perry era is her music videos are like, not that they've ever been great, but they're like so unbearable that it just is like, it's another layer of this like.
Well, that's a good way to like
Problem.
transition in to her music videos.
Right, because her music videos are often where she's like blatantly either racist or like appropriating from other cultures, like sort of wholesale. So I
Yeah.
think like the worst version of this with Katy Perry is that "This Is How We Do" video, where in the middle of it, well, she talks about like getting her nails done all Japanesey, and then
Also, that like line went so no one ever talked
No
about that,
one.
and I was like waiting for there to be like an uproar, but is that not like probably one of the most offensive lines in a Katy Perry song?
that one's bad. But then in the like the middle of the video, she has cornrows with fake baby hairs, and she like looks at her phone and is like, "We see you."
Yeah, she's like trying to emulate like a black girl like attitude, whatever, and it's like, Katy. Well, her whole defense of this video was she was like, "I love Tumblr. I just see all this stuff on Tumblr," and like, yeah, you probably did see all this stuff on
yeah.
Tumblr. Like, there's probably like a million white girls in cornrows on Tumblr, but it's like, that's like, it's still not okay. I don't know. It's weird because it's like, part of me really thinks like she didn't realize that doing cornrows was like a bad
She
thing.
didn't.
Yeah, because I mean, if
Until
she
she was,
really
like-
knew, she wouldn't have done it.
Well, she
but-
commented on it. She was like, my friend Cleo Wade told me, like, you know, about black women's hair and, like, the historical significance and all this stuff. And she had these quotes after that were just like, I didn't know in my life. How am I supposed to know? And it's like, well, I don't know. You're 32 years old. You love Tumblr. Like, how do kids in North Dakota come across, like, learn about other cultures, like, who are super into Tumblr?
I mean, it's like a bigger problem than Katy Perry too. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
one of those things where like,
One of the things that always drives me crazy in these moments, it reminds me of like when Justin Timberlake had that single "Take Back the Night," and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like And then he came out. He's like, "Oh, I've never heard of the Take Back the Night movement. I like the song's just like about like going out and having fun, and it's like it's about like making nightlife and like living safe for women essentially, and like reducing sexual assault and like rape." And
he had that song.
it's like on like every
Take Back the
college
Night.
campus has like or most college campuses had like a Take Back the Night like group actively working on this. And then Justin Timberlake released a song sort of like while we were in college, so it was like extra insane to me. And then he's like, "Oh, I've never heard of this movement." It's like, yeah, but don't you have an entire like your record label has an entire legal team who should have flagged this?
That's like the
And-
craziest thing about all of that shit.
Right.
to
It's
me.
like Katy Perry, you like have like 50 different advertisers. You probably have like a Beats like pill in the middle of this music video somewhere, but like no one was like, "Hey, maybe this white woman shouldn't have fake baby hairs."
But
But then
the
she gets
thing
attention.
is, well, also the thing is like, I've worked in like giant corporate places where like there's been like really questionable like appropriative shit, and like a lot of people speak up, but because there's like one person in charge, they like overrule it, which is like insanely fucked up and like problematic.
Right.
So I mean, that could have easily been the case. Like, I don't know, not trying to like defend what she did, but
Right.
I'm just like wondering, because there's no way like not there must have been at least like 20 people working on this video that were like, this is bad.
Right.
But it's like probably like, you know, like assistant hairstyle, like people who like aren't gonna like
Yeah, we're like, hey,
have like
maybe-
enough, you know, like
Well-
if they quit because of it, they're like, okay, well,
We'll just hire someone
new,
else,
you know.
right?
She has this quote, and she says, "I guess I'll just stick to baseball and hot dogs, and that's it," Perry said. "I know that's a quote that's going to come to fuck me in the ass, but can't you appreciate a culture? I guess, like, everybody has to stay in their lane. I don't know."
So I think beyond like the "This Is How We Do" video, there's like she
dressed up as a geisha.
right, she dressed up as a geisha, and that was at the Unconditionally video.
No, that was at the Grammys or the VMAs.
Oh,
And
right.
I remember that really specifically.
Yeah, unconditionally AMAs.
AMAs. She got a lot of shit for that, and this is one of the like, okay, so after that happened, she got a lot of shit, and she was like, she like released a statement, and she was like, "Listen, like, I love Japan. I go to Japan all the time. I love Japanese culture. I hired like Japanese people to make these costumes for me. Like, I mean, she was really like felt bad. She was like, I didn't want to offend anybody, but I just was like trying to pay homage. Is that how you say it?
Homage.
To like this thing that I love." And that's when it's like gets complicated, because like she was working with like actual Japanese people, and like obviously she probably shouldn't have just like totally dressed up as a geisha. Maybe she could have done
Yeah.
like an inspired by, but this is one where I kind of like am like, okay, Katie, like I can understand where you're coming from more.
I don't think there were any like Japanese dancers though. Is what I'm kind of
Oh,
also
really?
reading. Yeah, like between the lack of Asian women on stage, the heavy-handed use of bowing and shuffling around in the choreography, and the ethno-confused set and costume design.
Okay,
One
to be fair, I
dimensional.
haven't watched the performance in a long time, so
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I think when people are like, "Oh, there's a difference between like appreciation and appropriation," and there is, but someone like Katy Perry, it's like a geisha is like problematic, and like any white woman dressing up, and there's like a history there. You could wear a dress that's inspired.
I mean, that's
pattern,
what
you know
that's
I mean?
exactly it's like, and that's the same thing with the This Is How We Do video. It's like you can do, like, if you like this cornrow look, like you can achieve something that like feels similar but isn't just totally ripping it off. It's like, and that's why I think the line is between like inspiration and like appropriation. And like,
I feel like with the cornrows, the thing that I can't ever get over is the like fake like flattened down like hair to look like baby
That's
hairs.
it. Like,
And it's just like, okay, so you don't just like this hairstyle, like you truly took another culture and put it on your head.
yeah, like she doesn't even probably know what that even is. She's like, oh, like this is a hairstyle, haha, and it's like, no, this is like something so specifically tied to like a specific race.
Right.
Yeah. I will say in terms of this like geisha performance, probably also why it hit so aggressively is maybe people trying to like make up for not attacking Gwen Stefani. In a way, like, the fact that we as a nation, like, went through the Harajuku girls.
And we were like, LOL, love it.
Yeah, but do we think it's because we, like, now I feel like she still does stuff and nobody says anything. Is it because
Who, Gwen Stefani?
As, like, appreciation?
That's not...
No, I think it's that we didn't
That's
talk about cultural
worse.
appropriation during, like,
And like, another thing
2004.
about, like, Katy's AMA performances, that was, like, several years ago where it's still, like... I think at that, like when she did that performance, the like term cultural appropriation was not as like, it wasn't buzzy. You know what I mean? It was like at the beginning of this kind of like, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Like white girl who loves Japan.
Right. But, and so like the weird thing about the Gwen Stefani bit is that like she is doing some of the things that people are talking about. Like, oh, Katy could have done this. Like, she is like wearing clothes that reference Asian culture, but she's not dressing up as an Asian woman. And she has Asian women on stage with her. Like, but then it like...
She's still like the front.
Well, right. And also then it seems like she is like, I mean, objectifying them, what she did, because there was like also like Harajuku
it's like
dolls.
4 voiceless
like
interchangeable
girls
who are
right?
behind her. I mean, it's like, that's not...
And I
Great.
think I'm just like peering through this article. They were contractually obligated to only speak Japanese in public.
And also, like, she, like, took the word Harajuku and, like, was like, it's my word now. And it's
Right.
like,
She
okay,
made a
girl.
whole like kids brand, Harajuku Girls. Like,
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
like you're literally making. It's like
White people who are really into Japan are always problematic.
well, it just
I
reminds
just think it's
makes
weird.
me
It's, like,
think-
so fetishy. And, like,
Right.
it's like, what are you
well, it's
fucking
like
doing?
if a French pop star or something like Watts Girls or something like Compton Queens like created that term and like created all like
Totally.
created
Oh,
ownership
my
on it.
God,
It's so
yeah.
crazy. Like a whole neighborhood. She's like trademarked or something. And I mean, I don't know if she did trademark Harajuku Girls, but I feel like she had to have.
It become a business.
Yeah, because it was, like, a brand.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Harajuku lovers.
I guess for Katy, like with all these things, do you all see her like growing or understanding like her mistakes in the past? Because it doesn't feel like it to me. Like even like swish swish and like this sort of like black language and culture that she's like sort of using there. Like even like saying bish is like.
Yeah.
You're a white Christian girl from like Santa Barbara.
I really don't feel like Katy has learned anything, and I think that's partially why I've like really stepped away from her, is because it's just like offense after offense, and like I'll be like, oh cool, like you are campaigning for Hillary Clinton, and like it seems like you're kind of like more aware of like what's going on politically, and then she'll say something shitty about Britney Spears, and it's like, wait, what? Like, it's like 1 step forward, like 2 steps back type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like then she also got a haircut, so it's like, I can't. No, but like, I really hope that there's like a Katy Perry renaissance, and like she does own up to all of her shit, and then she releases good music and grows her hair out. But it just doesn't seem like she's learning anything.
Okay, I have another question for you. Do you think that Katy Perry is a gay icon?
Honestly, no.
Right? Isn't
That's so weird because I feel the same. Like
Yeah,
everything
like
I feel.
no.
I'm like a hard absolutely no, which is I'm thinking about her on American Idol where that little boy is like wig
Oh,
and she's like,
yeah.
oh my god, wig, I know, right? And then it became like whatever, and then whoever the white guy is like, what's wig mean?
Luke Perry.
That's like another instance where it's like, it's just she doesn't, everything she does, it's like she sort of, I mean, not like overtly claims it as her own thing, but like with the wig thing or like with the geisha thing, it's like she just like takes stuff, and like the whole wig thing really like
really
pissed
snatches
me
wigs.
off, because it's like, I mean, Katy's like obviously like an ally for like the LGBTQ community, but also isn't like incredibly vocal about it, and
Right.
But that's
also
like
has had her song, and like also like the whole wig thing is like beyond that being like a term that like gay people use. Like that is it's like that's stolen from like black people,
Right.
and it's just like levels of like
But
fucked up.
I guess that's my question is like when we were talking about her, if she's ever I don't know if I said this out, like if she's ever commented on "You're so gay" like now, but obviously I don't think she has, right? Because it's like for her to actually be an ally for LGBTQ people, she'd have to discuss "You're so gay."
Right.
And like if she's gonna keep saying wig, like bitch, you better be saying Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean?
I know, and I'm sure she has said that, but that's the other thing is like she like was like I'm a purposeful pop like political bitch, and then she like campaigned for Hillary, and then it's been like silence.
Right. And
it's like,
also
what?
you like if you're gonna have the Witness tour and it's like all around this, like there's so much you could get up on stage and like say or project behind you or like
just like
give a voice to.
Like throw a tweet out occasionally. It's like take a cue from like John Legend. Like he's doing it right. But I think this sort of comes down to like, I know it sounds bad, but I just don't think she's smart.
Or her team. Her team isn't smart. Like, I thought it was interesting what they were trying to do with the Witness stuff. Yeah, like when she sat down with, I want to make sure I don't butcher his name, from Black Lives Matter. Is it D-Ray McKesson? Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
And
I
he
didn't
had her
know
on
she
her,
did that.
yeah, D-Ray McKesson had her on his podcast during her 72-hour live stream. And, like, he kind of told her all this stuff about, like, appropriation and kind of asked her to explain herself and yada yada.
Oh, I don't think I knew about that.
Which is interesting, but her whole apology ended up just being like, just like because of who I am, like how am I supposed to know that? Like, let me pull a good quote that she had.
It should just be like, I'm sorry and I'm learning. Like,
right. Okay.
You don't
I
have
will
to-
never understand some of those things because of who I am, but I can educate myself, and that's what I'm going to try to do along the way.
oh, that's pretty good.
So I agree with you, except when we saw her on tour, there was nothing of this, like, there was none of that. I haven't seen any of this, like, compassion
I mean,
or understanding.
also, like, I guess when you're on a tour and you're doing a million shows, like, maybe not everyone can be, like, this big
we were
moment.
in Brooklyn.
But also, like, going back to, like, the Lady Gaga, like, Monster Ball tour, it was, like, that felt, like, so full of, like, soul and, like, it, like, felt like a movement. Like, she was talking about, I mean, she didn't even say anything, like, totally crazy, but she would, like, she was like, this is for the gays, and, like, and she would, like, have her, like, trans dancer come out and, like, do a big thing, and it was just, like, felt very, like, she was like trying to do something to like.
Don't you feel like that's who she is though? Like those are people who are actually in her community.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Right.
it's easier and more natural to.
Lady, especially the Monster Ball tour, I think like truly just felt like a queer space.
Yeah,
Or it's just like, if you're here, you're gay.
yeah, yeah. Katy Perry's concert is like, I'm like, who is here? Like, I literally still don't know.
So we met up before to like get food and drinks, and at the restaurant, like literally right across from the arena, it was like all these moms and their like 8-year-old daughters, all
Yeah.
white, all wearing these like little kitty cat ears. They all had cute outfits, but like
Yeah, they look.
that's who it was. Like that was the demographic.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it makes sense because like her music isn't. It's like
nothing.
it's very shallow, and like even this album that was supposed to be like her deep moment means nothing.
I mean, anytime that a pop star has their like most personal album yet, it's always
Britney.
bad. Like we all have Britney Jean.
I love Britney Jean.
Name one song.
Alien.
Oh,
That's a good.
the Alien
song.
demo is good. I think the album.
Or
version's
even
fun.
like, I mean, I know. I mean, I think you guys like Joanne, but even like Joanne, it's like
Oh, I love Joanne.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Sorry.
Joanne Sands in the corner over here.
Sorry. Well, that
Don't
but
come
that
for
was like a
us.
similar thing for me. I was like, okay, like, what? We don't
Oh
need to
my
get
God,
into
you
that.
have to listen to Joanne on your road trip.
You do.
And you'll love her.
Okay.
Joanne's been a journey for me, as has art pop. I think like there's just not layers with Katy Perry. So my favorite songs of hers evoke like a sense of euphoria, which I think is
Totally.
like the ideal version of her. So like
Uh-huh.
Teenage Dream, I think is one of the
That's
best
her
pop
best
songs
song.
and is like clear like far and away her best song because it like captures that feeling of being like young and in love and beautiful and like.
And that's the thing about her is I think she really can't. She has been able to tap into this really, and that's why she got so successful is because she knows how to tap into this like specific like really like emotional kind of like whatever experience like with like Teenage Dream and even like what else off the like on Prism like I mean I know a lot of people didn't listen to the album either but I mean
Hummingbird Heartbeat is
oh my god
gets
Hummingbird
that same
Heartbeat
feeling, even though
but
it was
yeah
not a hit.
it's like
International
those two
Smile.
songs well I love that song too but like she has a talent and it's just like she's doesn't know she like got confused how to use it.
Right, she has a very specific. It's a narrow brand, but
Yeah.
it's like really good when
Well,
it's
and
on.
it's kind of like, so I feel like she needs to take a cue from like Carly Rae. Whereas like Carly Rae knows her brand, sticks to her brand, and is really successful.
Like, Katy
and
is
doesn't
whimsical
fuck
love
around.
songs. Like the euphoric whimsy, and you can change, and your brand can change, and those songs can have depth, and you can figure it out from there. But you can't.
I think the mistake is assuming those songs don't have depth, and that's
Totally.
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what the message seems to be in these moments. It's like Firework is generic, but has like also insane depth because it's so applicable.
Totally. And it's like, it makes so many different types of people feel a certain way.
And like my boyfriend Patrick was at a wedding last night where they put off fireworks while the band was performing Firework, and he's like, "This is
I would've
so
shit my
literal,
pants.
but so beautiful
I
at the
would've-
same time."
Chills?
He like sent me a
I'm
video,
like
but he's
getting
like,
chills right now.
he's like, "I didn't realize it, but this is like perfectly iconic. Like every wedding should have this moment where they just put off fireworks."
A lot of weddings end with firework.
That's so beautiful.
I like how like a lot of weddings like.
Yeah, but I agree. It's like just writing pop songs off as like not being deep is like so stupid because it's not true. And any if there is something that can make that many people feel a certain emotion,
Totally.
clearly something is going on in it and with it. And like to just be like, it's a pop song. It's like that's yeah, it is a fucking pop song and it's a good pop song. And like don't pretend like that means it's like stupid, you know? And I think that's where she has like her true talent is like being able to like do that, and she just needs to be redirected back to that.
Yeah, I feel like this all sort of ties into like this particular moment where I feel like literally every white pop, like female pop star has failed at reacting to it, in that they felt like they need to like find like a specific political message or like put on this like patina of seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Katy Perry's the most obvious version because she like flopped the hardest.
Yeah.
And like was like very outspoken about like purposeful pop, but even Reputation is a mess of an album.
Yeah.
With like no guiding line between like what works as a Taylor Swift song and what's on the album.
Or like
Yeah.
like Miley's new album too. It's like
Or,
they're
yeah, Younger Now is also
it's just like
it's a disaster.
to me like these women are like trying. I mean, I'm not saying this is a thing that only women do. I just don't listen to men
Yeah, I think
singers.
we just like listen to female pop stars.
I don't like men, so I don't listen to them sing. But like these pop women, like they like feel the need to like reinvent themselves to like maybe like sell a record when like
Right.
I feel like what everyone really wants is just like them. Like you fell in love with like Taylor Swift because of her first few albums and
It's a
like
girl and her guitar.
you know what I mean? And it's like I get like trying new things, but like it's just like feels like there's these really forced like reinventions
Right.
that
Instead of like a natural progression.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to try something different. It's like, no, I'm making personal pop.
and like
this is
I feel like
purposeful.
Beyonce is a good example of how to do it right. Whereas like obviously there has like been a lot of change and she's doing things really new, but like nothing ever felt like it wasn't Beyonce-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I think I was thinking about that like subconsciously the other day because I was like scrolling back through her discography, and like I was like, when did Beyonce become like Beyonce? And it's like
Mhm.
I guess around 4, because, and I was reading Pitchfork reviews of Everything Is Love, and then I like went and like read the review of like Sasha Fierce. And it was like, oh, Beyonce wasn't Beyonce on Sasha Fierce yet, but like it wasn't like, I mean, I guess like dropping like the visual album, like that surprise like cemented her new version of herself, but it wasn't like she looked different or like the sound was like remarkably different. It was just like the content changed based on like where her life was, but it wasn't like, oh, and now I'm a country star, or like, oh, now I totally, now I have political opinions. Like, it's like,
her in this new
right, it's not like she,
and
like,
it's like,
picked a new
you know,
dress
she
and
did
called
do
it,
a country song in her
Era.
album, but she did one, and it was like, it was like, oh, it's cool that Beyonce's trying this, but it's like, if she had come out with a full album like that, I'd been like, maybe not. And like, I feel like that's like kind of what like Taylor and Katy did, where it's like, okay, like, please try new things, but like, you need to like figure out how to like work this into like what you already have going on.
Well, and also like, I mean, to give Miley some credit, like the stuff she released just on SoundCloud for free, it's like, hey, I'm gonna try something so different.
Oh, that was sick.
And that was really good and cool. And also, I think it's worth noting too, like, all of these women can do what Beyonce did because they do have the means and they have enough money now to sustain them and their brand. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
But they also, like, Beyonce just, in my opinion, is like, has really good, she just has like impeccable taste. And I think she is so,
She's built a brand.
She's so in control and so sure of like how she's putting herself out there. And like, just based on like BTS stuff and like all these things I've seen, it's like she's like has a vision.
Well, and she also controls everything about herself.
Yeah.
In a way that like I think has ultimately helped her a lot. So like if Katy Perry wasn't on Twitter, she'd honestly probably seem more interesting. Because like what you sort of said, like she's not very articulate.
No.
At least about like her music or her fans or like bigger issues. So like if she can like tap into that sort of like universal feeling that her best songs get to, like you can apply them to all of these things without like having Katy Perry have to explain to you what it means, because that's where it like quickly falls apart.
That's like the, I think that's a big problem too, is like we got this, and like this was kind of similar to like art pop. We got the explanation for the album before we got the album.
Right.
So then you listen to the album and you're like, wait, what? Like, and it's like, no, you need to just like be like, I have new music, here's the music. And then maybe like in a month you can explain it if you feel like you need to. But it's just like weird. Like, I'm sure if Beyonce had given this huge explanation for Beyonce or Lemonade and then it came out, we would have been like kind of disappointed.
Well, and your people are more critical. And it's also assuming, like with what we said with pop music, there's no depth and that like nobody got anything out of their earlier music. So if she just released it, like, oh wow, this is more purposeful than her other.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, I feel like I'm interested to see what happens right now with Ariana Grande's like Sweetener, because it feels like she's having this moment where she's like, and Dangerous Woman I think is like a great pop album from end to end.
Did you see the new video, by the way?
I haven't watched it.
Oh my, did you?
No, I haven't watched it. I watched The Light Is Coming, which looks like it was filmed like in a rec room
with an iPhone, but the new video is, anyways, we don't need to get into that,
but I feel like she's having a moment, and like understandably, like given what like she went through with Manchester, like at least like it doesn't feel like just like a pivot for no reason, but it does kind of feel like someone thinking like, oh, my old music wasn't interesting enough, or like she's like, oh, this whole album is like exactly just like what I want it to be, and it's like different and weird. And it's like, then I hear like The Light Is Coming, and you're like, you're right, this does sound weird because there's no structure to this song, and like the lyrics don't relate to each other.
There's like 4 words and it's not a song.
Yeah. And like but we get the sentiment. Like
what
we
did
get
he
where
say?
she's coming.
What did she say?
It's just crazy that was her second single, but
especially after No Tears Left to Cry.
Well, No Tears Left to Cry is good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh my god, I get this. Like she is so tired of being sad and she wants to like, you know.
Yeah, I think that is like a false start based on what I've heard since.
It honestly really does feel like kind of a parallel experience to the Katy Perry thing, because it's like the first single was like, oh, this is good, and then the second one was like, what is happening? And now there's a third one and it's like,
what are we doing here?
Okay, where are we going?
I
And also
do-
the videos are
I
all
love the
really
merch
bad.
though. That's like God is a woman.
Oh, I haven't seen
She or Pete Davidson was wearing like a tie-dye long sleeve shirt and it says like in small letters across the front, God is a woman.
that. Oh, I like that.
Me too. I'll buy it.
I would wear that. But
Katy Perry.
yeah, so Katy, at the end of the day, where do we all stand on Katy?
So I really, maybe like naively, think that she will come back to us. And I think I just partially have to tell myself that so I'm not like really, really sad. Because like literally I still like listen to like when I get really anxious, this is so embarrassing, when I get like actually like have like bad anxiety or like get like really like sad, I listen to Prism and it like
I
really
like that too.
helps my anxiety.
I had to pull up the track list. Oh man, I love Birthday.
I love Walking on Air.
And Walking on Air.
I
I
mean, do you ever listen to like Ghost, Love Me, This like they're
No.
No,
so
absolutely not.
they're really beautiful.
I don't think I've ever listened to a song past International Smile.
The first eight are a tight.
But it just like has this like place in my heart that will like never ever go away. But Witness is so bad that I want to like burn it to the ground. But I think my relationship with her is forever changed for sure, because I was kind of like, I was definitely one of those people that was like, would kind of defend her no matter what, and then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore because you have a lot of problems. But I think I'll always love her, and I'm holding out for long hair and good music.
Grow that hair out and dye it dark. Roz, what about you?
I think that she should. I feel like this is my advice for most pop stars as like a fan who really wants everyone to succeed. Like my goal is for all pop stars to make it. If like these like upper echelon ones, like I never want to see them have a Witness or you know an art pop flop. I think she should just like truly, when she's done with this tour, chill out. Have like I love Joanne, so I'm saying it's like I think she needs to like, you've done so much and whatever, like get back to who you are, like a singer-songwriter.
I also kind of think,
know?
sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
I think she has learned a little bit of a lesson because she knows Witness flopped. She didn't get a
Right.
single Grammy nom.
Right.
It flopped
She
hard as
didn't
fuck.
go
So
past number
she
4.
like she has to know.
Yeah, but I think my thing for her is like I hope that she like hears this criticism, takes it to heart, goes home, chills out, writes music, goes to studio, and gives us like a less busy album with no explanation. I don't want it to be purposeful. I just want it to be like
Just like do it.
Yeah, just do
Let
it.
us have it.
I think Katy Perry could have her own glory, if that makes sense.
Oh my god.
In that,
please.
like, Britney Jean was a very bad album, and then Gloria is very good, but also it's not trying to do anything revolutionary. It's just
Totally.
like I want like put together an album that sounds like Britney and like captures a lot of moods and is sexy and fun and like a little bit dumb and.
I like Perfume and Body Ache. Sorry.
Oh, I love Body Ache, but Britney's not singing the like, second verse on that song.
Body Ache is good. Yeah.
But like, It Should Be Easy is so bad. Chilling With You is amazingly bad.
I love it too.
But yeah, I feel like that's a really good like comparison
Yeah,
or
like
like what
trajectory of
what could
Well, I feel like Katy Perry is just like a cemented star, even though like I don't think she's a gay icon apparently. Like
yeah.
I think that like she's not going to just like disappear. I don't know. I've never been like deeply in love with her. So like if she doesn't have material that hits, I don't know like if I would pay attention to her in the way that like Britney Spears could have an album that sold 10 copies and I would have bought one of the 10 copies.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I do feel like she has momentum left as long as she like redirects it.
Yeah.
Well, she's a talented singer-songwriter, and maybe it's even taking the Britney Spears approach, not just with Gloria, but just being like, oh, if I actually care about these things, I'm just gonna have a sincere Instagram post about like calling your governor or like calling, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like something like nerdy like that, where it's like, I believe in dreamers. And like,
Yeah.
she like posts that, and that's the work she does. And she is a true ally, but like doesn't feel the need to like make her music about that.
Yeah.
You're just like, cool, this is me, but I'm
Can
gonna
you
stay
imagine
my
like a Britney like Call Your Senator song? I'm gonna write it and send it to her.
Oh, wait. One like last little. Did you ever watch her? She sang. Oh my God, what was on her Britney on her Instagram? She sings like.
Oh God,
yeah,
Elvis
yes.
Presley.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that until the other day and was losing my shit. Anyways, sorry, that was like not
Right, I
important,
feel like-
but it's so good.
So Payton, if people are interested in you, how can they find you online?
Oh, you can find me at my Instagram, Payt Baby, Payt Baby.
And do you have anything else you want to plug?
Are you looking for love?
Oh my God.
Rozz, that's gonna capture horribly.
But it's always okay, sorry, I'll download it.
No, I don't think I have anything else I want to plug. I just want to encourage people to pray for Katy Perry. And for
Her
me.
circle for Katy.
Well, thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Especially after a crazy night out.
Yeah, I'm hungover.
And if you guys are listening, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. Send us an email at weforgiveyouPodcast@gmail.com.
Check out our YouTube channel, which I failed. Actually, no, by the time this episode comes out, all the episodes will be up.
And read a good summer book.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Say only fools are rushing. Oh no, but I can tell. Falling in love with you. Take my